My God, I hate drugs.
Millions of Filipino Catholics flocked to churches on Monday evening for the annual Misa de Gallo, or the Christmas Eve Mass, to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. At the Manila Cathedral, Archbishop Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle led the Mass. What is the Archbishop's message to Filipinos this Christmas? Our Makoy Popioco tells us in this report.
The country with the longest Christmas celebration, the Philippines, prides itself on its colorful holiday traditions. For many Filipino faithfuls, the traditional Misa de Gallo is among the highlights of the country's 4-month Christmas festivities. As early as 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, hundreds of people gather to attend the Misa de Gallo at the Manila Cathedral in Intramuros.
Para ma-feel po namin talaga yung Pasko kasi talagang yun po talaga ang meaning ng Pasko, di ba? Yung pagsimba.
Experiencing the Filipino Christmas for the first time ever, this group of Slovenian tourists also came to hear the Mass.
We want to see how is the Christmas in Philippines, because our country, we are also 80% of Slovenian people are Catholic, and we want to see how is Christmas here in Philippines.
Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle offered a prayer for the families affected by the tsunami in Indonesia.
Huwag po nating kalilimutan ang mga kapatid natin na dahil sa masamang panahon ay baka binaha o hindi makapagdiwang katulad natin. Alalahanin natin ang mga kapatid natin sa Indonesia na nakaranas ng tsunami.
The Archbishop also did not shy away from discussing corruption, disinformation, and bullying during his homily. The Catholic Church declared 2018 as the Year of Young People. Tagle says Christmas is for the children, the day when the child Savior Jesus Christ was born. For that, he especially dedicated his homily to young people.
We are sorry if the world has become toxic because of vices, violence, bullying, brutality, greed, and corruption. You don't deserve this world, but you, young people, can make this world better.
Make the world better. That is Cardinal Tagle's message for Christmas. And this is not just directed to the young, but to the child in every one of us. Makoy Popioco, CNN Philippines.
The Philippine Foreign Affairs Department is monitoring the situation in Sicily, Italy. That's after Mount Etna erupted, causing a magnitude 3.3 earthquake and the closure of Sicily's Catania airport. Mount Etna is Europe's highest and most active volcano, and since Monday's eruption, there have already been more than 100 earthquakes recorded. According to the Philippine Embassy in Rome, Italian authorities have not issued evacuation orders, and while some hikers were brought down from the slope of the volcano to safety level, there were no reports of deaths or injuries. The embassy is in touch with the Filipino community in the cities of Catania and Messina, who reported that they are safe and no Filipino national has been affected by the eruption. Flights into Catania Airport, which were halted temporarily, returned to normal at 8 p.m. Monday. There are around 2,325 Filipino nationals in Messina and 624 in Catania. More or less 5,000 Filipinos reside in the whole of Sicily. And two world leaders, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, delivered messages of love this Christmas Day. CNN's Leon Lakhani reports from London.
A message of love, acceptance, and respect from two world leaders this Christmas Day. At the Vatican, Pope Francis used his annual address to pray for countries ravaged by conflict. He called on the international community to set aside differences in Syria for the sake of the nearly 6 million people forced to flee their homes after years of war.
May the international community work decisively for a political solution that can put aside divisions and partisan interests, so that the Syrian people, especially all those who were forced to leave their own lands and seek refuge elsewhere, can return to live in peace in their own country.
Standing at the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, the pontiff said his thoughts also turned to Yemen, where he hoped a truce would finally bring relief to people exhausted by war and famine. It comes as the United Nations says the war in Yemen has pushed it to the brink of the worst famine in 100 years. Here in the UK, Queen Elizabeth II said the message of peace on earth was never out of date.
Even with the most deeply held differences, treating the other person with respect and as a fellow human being is always a good first step towards greater understanding.
The 92-year-old monarch is neutral on political matters, but her message comes as the country remains divided on a Brexit deal as the UK prepares to leave the European Union in March. Leonie Lacani, CNN, London.
The Armed Forces warns of possible attacks from the Communist Party as it celebrates its 50th founding anniversary today. In a statement, AFP spokesman Colonel Noel De Toyato advises Filipinos to take extra caution, especially since CPP founder Joma Sison ordered the New People's Army to escalate attacks and violence. Sison made the order after government decided to extend martial law in Mindanao for one more year until December 31st, 2019. The CPP earlier declared a unilateral ceasefire in observance of the holiday season and its 50th anniversary. The truce took effect 12:01 a.m. of December 24 and will supposedly stay in place until 11:59 p.m. tonight. Another ceasefire will happen New Year's Eve. Meantime, the death toll from Indonesia's devastating tsunami rises as authorities fear more disasters could strike without warning. At least 429 people are now confirmed dead in Java and Sumatra. More than 150 are still missing and more than 16,000 others displaced. Rescue teams have been working through the rain in hopes of finding any survivors. Officials believe Saturday's tsunami may have reached up to 5 meters high off the coast of Java. The Binay clan sat for a family portrait to mark the Christmas season, but one of them was noticeably missing from the photograph. In these pictures released on Senator Nancy Binay's Instagram page, former Vice President Jejomar Binay and his wife, former Makati Mayor Elenita Binay, are seen together with their children Nancy, Junjun, Joanna Marie, and Marita Angelique. But incumbent Makati Mayor Abigail Binay is absent in the photos. She posted her own Christmas family portrait on her Facebook page, together with her husband, Makati Representative Luis Campos, and their daughter, Martina. Mayor Abby earlier said she had not spoken to her brother Junjun for months after he decided to run against her in the Makati mayoralty race in 2019.
Good morning, time check, 6:38. Now here at home, if you're starting off your day on the road, let's check the latest on EDSA Cubao here in Quezon City. If you're southbound, traffic turns light to moderate at certain points, so you can expect minor delays if you're headed towards San Juan and Mandaluyong. Now let's check road reports. Posted on Waze, let's go to JP Rizal exit in Makati, where there is a reported major vehicular incident here. We also see that this is causing congestion. It is heavy traffic to a complete standstill. Brace yourselves for a slow speed. Vehicles are just moving at around 6 kilometers per hour from JP Rizal. Let's move over to Rojas Boulevard. And there's also a reported minor vehicular incident along the southbound lanes of Rojas Boulevard. We don't see any congestion, though, as of this time. Thank you for sending in those reports. Be our eyes on the road. Have Waze on your mobile, and do join the CNN Philippines team. Now, don't miss these stories in sports. Tennis superstar Roger Federer talks to CNN as his foundation celebrates its 15th anniversary. And from making a splash at the box office to crashing a couple's wedding photo shoot, Aquaman star Jason Momoa steals the spotlight again. Back in a moment, this is New Day on CNN Philippines. Staying with New Day, I'm Andre Felix. A milestone for the Roger Federer Foundation. It has reached its goal of helping 1 million children. Federer spoke to CNN as the foundation celebrated its 15th anniversary. Watch.
You are very hands-on with this foundation. You know, you've been on the ground, you've learnt a lot during this time. Has there been any particular moment? I mean, 15 years is a long time, but has there been any particular moment or child that's kind of stayed with you?
Yes, I mean, I think being on the ground is the best part, to be honest. I mean, you know, board meetings, you know how they are. They're not the most sexiest thing in the world. But being on